you know, she took it, she was talking to her birth family, and then she just put it back somewhere in the vicinity of where it was, where she found it. But but you come back and it's like, well, I know you did it because stuff isn't where it's supposed to be. She went into our bedroom and took our laptop. The laptop was in the closet in a laptop case, and theoretically we'd never have known she'd taken it, except for the fact that Mrs. Osa was putting some stuff in the closet and she kicked the laptop case, and it's like, that's not where it's supposed to be. It's, you know, slightly out of position. Open the laptop, gone. Oh, where'd that go? Asked teenage Osa. Yeah, I took it. I've been talking to my family, which is why I've been the queen bee for the last 3 days. So, oh, really? Yeah. Okay, this will be turn around for the last row, and then we'll start doing the headlands. How's the... Oh, I need to move the limer. Let's get to the end here. Okay. Turn right and then turn around. The hedge is probably a little bit too close. Right over here. And GPS on. And pop that there. We'll come back in a minute. So this guy. Oh, wow. This guy used serious amounts of lime. That's quite impressive. And the farm's over there. Okay. So, we'll get this filled up. We'll take it up to the last field that needs lime today. And then what am I doing? So I'm doing stuff where I am. Oh, I've got to spread manure on the field where the magnum is. That's probably going to take a while because we have to keep it stocked up. All right. And get out, get in, refill. It's really annoying. Okay, so the load button and the activate button are the same thing on my keyboard setup, which I didn't realise. So I have to pull up to a loading point, get out, get back in again, and now I can't start the piece of equipment. I can press shift and that button, and it will start the piece of equipment. Now I'm in, default mode is load the piece of equipment. If I get out and get back in again, now that I'm not sitting next to the load point, default action is to activate the piece of equipment. So, oh, that's what I was going to do. Grass conditioned 80%, which means 25%. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. It's at 80%. Potentially tomorrow morning that grass is going to be ready to sell. It'll be silage, so 3 days. which is 24 hours game time quicker than I would expect, because we cut this on September 1, because we had a lot of stuff to do on September 1 and I didn't realise until late. We started off with the sorghum and then realised, oh, actually I should be doing the grass too, so we cut the grass, and then, oh, actually I should be doing the other stuff that we do, the silage, the fresh maize. So all the September crops are done, fortunately. Now I just have to turn the fields round. Not that this is not a rush job. Obviously that one field I want to get the oats in before end of the month, but all these other fields we've got until spring, so I don't have to do all these things. Okay, you're good. Let's set that off. You should come home with a lot more, because again this is fairly fresh and not a very big field. Okay, back to wrong way. This guy, oh, it already did. Go. So this is all of the culti ploughing I need to do right now. Obviously once we get the sugar beets harvested, we'll also have to do those as well. I didn't plant any sugar beets this year. I have 3 fields of them, because I bought fields during the year, and 3 of them are sugar beet fields. So, well, gives me an excuse to get the sugar beet harvester out, which is a expensive piece of equipment. That I should probably have thought about beforehand. We've got a lot of expensive pieces of equipment on the farm. Oh, I've drunk all my tea. Well, okay then. Okay. Missed a bit there. We'll probably, if I'm not careful, going to miss bits along here too. Nope. Got that. Oh, I could turn off the GPS now. That's not needed. So I don't know how many headlands I'm going to have to do here, and how many bits I'm going to have to go back and do. So I've been watching some of the farmers doing Farm Sim 25 videos. I don't think for Farm Sim 25 I'm going to worry too much about stones. They're annoying, they need to be removed because they do increase the wear and tear on vehicles, at least vehicles that churn up the ground and what have you. But in the grand scheme of things, that increased maintenance decay isn't very significant. So I'm kind of thinking we'll play with it. And I may end up adding a lime thing, a lime manufacturing facility, so that we can actually make use of the rocks. But for the most part, I'm not too worried about it. And we can always get a bucket if we get serious rocks. Plus, small rocks can be rolled in, and I do tend to roll my crops. So we'll take increased damage on, I don't know, say a manure spreader, and a seeder. But once we've seeded the ground, we'll go around and roll it, and that'll roll all of the small rocks in. So if I'm fairly careful with how big of a rock I produce, I should be okay. Now, what are we doing? Okay, Deutz is still running. I could... Let's finish this headland. We'll go and get the slurry spreader. And see if that spreads slurry. If it spreads slurry, then I don't have to do a manual thing. Otherwise, I'll have to do that myself, and we'll have to finish this job, obviously, because there's no way a courseplay worker can pick this up and finish it completely accurately. But if we do get, if it does spread slurry and cultivates the ground, that'll be fine. So we'll see how that all works out. I think I've left too many headland spaces up this end. It's not too big of a deal, but I'm going to probably end up doing about 3 or 4 headlands in different directions at this end. Shallow that out a bit. Yes, made it. And there we go. It's not too shabby a job, I guess. Okay, let's go find doing a thing. This one, I do believe. Whoa, and this is not very smooth yard. It's smooth enough where the shed and the greenhouses and the chickens are. It's not particularly smooth where the concrete hits the grass. Okay. So, I want to pull this in here. This should do quite nicely. And the reason I say that is it's a 4-wheel steer. Start work on the centre. Sharpen headland corners. No, round corners 4. And clockwise. Yeah, it really doesn't matter if we go clockwise or counterclockwise. And it's all done. Let's get this over here. So what we're looking at is destroying the stuff. And that changing colour. Oh, stop. First waypoint. Back it up. Stop and go. Alright. Now. No, that's not working. Okay, so we turn that off. Run that back. So yeah, that should be spreading slurry. It's not. The worker, the courseplay worker does not know how to use slurry spreaders with cultivators on the back. So we'll turn that off, and I'm going to have to come and do that myself later. But for right now, we need to finish this job. What I may end up doing is we'll pull the Zerian in on the manure spreader. It's got the 4-wheel steer, so it should do a better job of following the tracks. The problem is I don't know how quickly that's going to empty, and it will require a lot of babysitting. But then, so will the slurry spreader. So we'll see how that all works out. So it's like I've got one, maybe two headlands left here. I've got 4 or 5 on the top, north side of the field. But yeah, we might pull some fancy manoeuvres coming up here. Okay, lime spreader's got about 5 minutes left to run. I figure if I want to get that bit, we'll do it like this. Slowly work this back on this line. That's cool. And keep going. And now I'm going to hit the edge. We did get one terse phone call from teenage OSA this week, which was basically, "Hi, I need my my medical records. Can you send them to me?" "No, you're 18. Contact your doctor and get them sent to you yourself because you're 18. We can't do that." Oh, then she hung up. So, yeah, okay. Apparently she managed to get her act together and call her doctor and get her medical records sent to her, so not completely helpless, and she's enrolled in adult school because she only made it to year 11 by the time she turned 18, and a lot of that was she was in foster care, she moved from school to school, and there are a lot of school teachers out there that really don't care about, are my kids learning? All they care about is, can my kids pass the test? Because the more kids that pass the test, the better I look. So I don't get disciplined because 90% of my class failed. I'll just give all my kids the answers, or all my failing kids the answers. So they can just write the correct answers down, and I'll mark them as passed, and I look good. And it's like, yeah, but they didn't learn anything. I don't care. that's not the point of school. The point of school is to justify the teacher, and the teacher gets justification by looking good, by having all her kids with passing grades or better. And just no. So we adopted her, and she's like, yeah, she was grade 8 reading at, no, was it? I think she was grade 5 reading at grade 8, so she was 3 years behind where she was supposed to be. And over the course of 4 years, we continued her education and made up for the 3 of the 4 short years, but it did mean she got to 18. She's not graduated grade 11. If she'd stayed until the end of the school year, she'd have graduated grade 11. But we think now it sounds like she's in an adult class studying for a GED. Okay. Well, you either need that or to graduate school, so it's going to be that, I guess. So, anyway. Don't think we'll be hearing a lot from her over the coming years. And somebody's finished work, that would be the lime spreader. So we can bring him home and so I'm kind of expecting, I wonder if the slurry spreader doesn't cope because I don't have it on automatic spreading. I have it on a fixed spread level. No, that can't be it. I was going to suggest that maybe it can't see the nitrogen level in the field, but it doesn't need to know. If I just tell it you need to spread this much, it should just spread that much, and that's it. It's when you're saying bring it up to 100. Now it's got a problem because it needs to know what's there in order to judge how much it needs to add. But I'm kind of hoping that once we get the manure spreader on this field, that it will, because it only has to worry about spreading manure, it'll do that properly. And the reason it's not working on the slurry tank is because we're doing a sort of cultivator injectors on it, and so it runs the cultivator, it just doesn't work the tank. I wonder if they fixed that in 25. I wonder if it's a problem because I'm running precision farming. Don't know. Anyway. But Giants have let it be known that we are getting precision farming in Farm Sim 25, which actually wasn't expected by a lot of people. Supposedly, precision farming was introduced in Farm Sim 19, and again wasn't part of the game in Farm Sim FS22. It was added during the first, it might have been the first quarter, might have been the second quarter of the first year. I think probably first quarter, because this is the point when there's a new version of Farming Simulator. This is the point where I'm looking at winding up the old game and starting the new one, because there's some good maps out there that I look forward to playing on. So, and we did start with precision farming, so I'm guessing it was out by this point in 2019. But it was only supposed to be a 2-game deal with John Deere. But it's been announced we'll be getting it for Farm Sim 25. It's a little bit unfortunate it's not a switchable base game option, like you can periodic lime and plow and fertilize and all the things. There's all the check boxes. Do you want to play with seasons? Do you want to play with inclement weather? Do you want to, all of those things you can check boxes to say yes, no. And with precision farming, technically you could do the same thing and just have a checkbox to say yes, I want to play with it, or no. But no, once again, it's going to be a mod. And sadly, what that means is when we get, I used to call them the metal expansions, because it was the 1 year expansion, which used to have lots of machinery, potentially a new map, and also maybe a couple of new crops. So we got Estancia Lepacho in 17, which added sugar cane. So we got all the sugar cane